In this video, we're going to talk about things you need to do logistically when you first arrive in United States. Let's get started. The first thing you need to figure out is apartments. There are 4 things you should consider while you're choosing your apartment. The first one is safe neighborhood. It is always advisable to have a safe neighborhood, safe environment to live in. You will sleep peacefully every night. The second one is cost of your apartment. I know that you will be tempted to live in fancy apartment. You will have plenty of time to live in fancy apartment, but while you are in college, you want to save as much money as you can. So choosing apartment which is cost effective and sharing apartment with maybe 3 or 4 roommates, that's a great advice where you can save a lot of money and also have a great apartment. Coming to my third point, which is choosing your roommate. I made a video on types of roommates, so those are kind of people you will live with, so go and watch it. No, just kidding. But choosing your roommate is also very important because you're going to spend a lot of time with them, and those people should be encouraging and helpful for times when you need them. They are very important in your college life, so make wise decision while choosing your roommates. The fourth point is location of your apartment and trying to be as close as possible to the college. The reason is that if when you have break during your lunch time, you can always go back and cook it instead of eating outside and spending money outside. If you have important interviews or job fair or career fair or exam and you forgot something, you want to go home back, if it's closer you can do that, and if it's not, you're probably going to skip that. So it's important to be close to your apartment. Also, you'll save money on transportation. You can walk or bike, and it's great to have your apartment closer to the college. Second most important thing is opening your bank account. Why bank account? 4 reasons. The first one is if your parents want to send you money, if your loan amount wants to be transferred to your bank account, or if you want to send money back to your parents. The second reason is if you get job on campus or in future when you graduate and have a full-time job, you want that money to be deposited in a bank account. The third one is to pay your bills, rent, and also to transfer money to your friends and roommates. The fourth one, and very important, is that it helps you build credit history, credit score. What is credit score? I'm going to make a separate video on that, but basically it's a financial status in America which helps you get the loan and future loan if you plan to stay. The third one is choosing your mobile services. The question is which one to choose. T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, Xfinity. There are many options. When I came to United States, T-Mobile had the best family plans offers. And I think right now also they have the best family plans offers in all the networks available. You can club it with your roommates or friends, and 5 people together. It will eventually cost you $20 to $25 a month. I think that's the best deal you can get. Fourth thing to do is setting up your electricity and water. Now some apartments will have already water set up for you and it will be included in your rent, but some apartment will want you to set it up separately. To set up your electricity and water bill, all you have to do is, depending on your location, you either can do online or you have to go to physical address. If you have to do online, all you have to do is submit your personal details and they will set it up and link your bank account, and then they will start deducting your money. If you have to go to physical address, then you have to go to the office, fill up the form, take your ID proof and documentation, and then they will start deducting money from your bank account. The fifth one and the last thing which you will need for logistics part of to do is internet services. There is no escape to internet service. Everything in United States work on internet, so you have to have it. Which one to get it depending on your location. In California, majority of internet services provided by Xfinity or Comcast. There are many plans to choose for internet services, and each plans are dependent on speed and download. Never mind, download is unlimited almost all the plans, and the speed the minimum speed you get is 50 to 60 Mbps. I know that's too less, just kidding, but the minimum speed is 50 to 60 Mbps. You don't have to buffer anymore. That was not buffering, but I hope that 50 to 60 Mbps is not so bad, and this is what I have for myself. Okay, so there is like 3 other things which I highly recommend to do other than that 5 things. First one is getting your college ID. It looks, I mean, this is from Chico State, but obviously you have to get it your college ID the day you land, maybe that day itself or the next day itself. You should go to college, probably student center, that's where they will print it. This ID is very important because you will use this pretty much everywhere, even free buses and shuttles. You can use this as a free student services, and then also you can use this to get into gym and swimming pool and other centers in the college. So very important, go get this one done. After that, I know that a lot of you probably don't know how to drive in America. I didn't know that as well. So you need something called state ID instead of driving license. You can get driving license if you know how to drive, but it's gonna be a little difficult. So instead of driving license, I recommend you to get state ID, which so it's gonna look like this, but obviously if you're in California, if it is in New York or whatever, whichever state you are in, you should go and apply to state ID. It's super easy. You have to, it's not that complicated. All you have to do is your I-20, your college ID, your passport, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need, and maybe even your apartment address. So once you get your apartment, you should go get it. So the reason you want this ID is because you don't want to carry passport every single places you are going. So if you go to bar or if you go to place where they are gonna serve alcohol, they're gonna ask you, passport. Instead of that, you should take your state ID, which is acceptable everywhere, other than unless you want to get your driving license. I'll make separate video on how to get driving license. And the final thing which I recommend you to do is go buy this. I mean, it's hanger, but I didn't mean like literally this, but if you should go to Walmart, which is gonna be cheapest option for you to do some grocery shopping, things like this. So you probably will make a couple trips over there to get some essential things like hangers and stuff, like maybe drawers and table and chair and all of that. This is not super important, but you probably want to, and then buy some grocery like milk and sugar, coffee, whatever, if you need it for initial days. But then once you settle down, you exactly know what you want and where to shop from. So those are the top 8 things you should do as soon as you land in United States. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until our next episode, keep smiling.
And तेरे को तो पता है keep hustling रे.